Hello again, it's Garson, and let's have a little fireside chat. This isn't going to take long, because today, let's just say, it's kind of related to Drunk Monk, right? Everybody needs a little recharge, so let's just sit around the fire. This is actually the playthrough we're going through right now. It's run number 3, new subclasses only, with the patch 8 stress test. So we're trying out new subclasses, and we have the Hexblade right here.
Still breathing.
Still breathing. Something happened in this town. We won't talk about that. But we have Hexblade. Pretty awesome. Everything I could hope for. We have Dirgezilla here, the Barbarian, Path of the Giants. Fan favorite. I'm loving him. He's hilarious. I love shooting breath as a giant lizard. And now I can shoot fireballs. Don't ask how. Alright, and then we have the Swashbuckler, which I basically glazed a whole bunch of times. Even in the video, just kind of doing a breakdown on its abilities, I really like Swashbuckler. So let's turn the table over here and look at the monk. And I gotta say, I really like the monk's animations. I do. It's amazing. If you punch something, he throws out a bottle. It's amazing. Amazing visuals, right? Like, I love this guy. I really do. But I'm wondering if it's me or if it's style over substance with this subclass. And so we're just going to kind of like go through a few key points here. No pun intended with that, but a few key points, right? Let me recharge for the day. I do like to do dailies. That's really all I'll talk about on that end. But this is just going to be more of a chill video and maybe a discussion for the comments, right? A quick word on the way of the Drunken Master. We are now just about level 8, midway through Act 2, and we're doing a new subclasses only run in honor mode, right? This is just no mods, honor mode run right here. Just to see, before any multi-classing or whatnot, I typically just want to see what these new subclasses are capable of. Then I can get a bunch of cool ideas of if they're fun to replay. I rate them pretty highly based on aesthetics and functionality and multi-classing and single-classing, a whole bunch of stuff, and you've probably seen those videos, right? So today's video is just asking, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'll try and fill you in how I feel about this real quick, and then I'll just see if we can discuss it just for today's video, right? So the monk subclass is way of the Drunken Master, right? And so you pick your subclass at level 3, and it's really level 3 onward is when you're really starting to play a subclass. And does it change or enhance the way your class plays, you know, typically, right? That's what I usually ask myself, at least. So far we're level 7 on the cusp of level 8, right? We're mid Act 2, and I've been running a Tavern Brawler set. For those who don't know, I really like Punchy Monk, where you run around and do flurry of blows and tons of damage thanks to the high strength elixir of Hill Giant Strength and Cloud Giant Strength. You use Tavern Brawler and you get a silly amount of damage and accuracy out of this. It's tons of fun. We've made videos about it. So I figured, it'd be great to run this, and it really looks like can't go wrong with this subclass. Because as far as I've seen, I don't think really much else synergizes too crazy, right? Isn't the whole point of, you know, like the Drunken Master, sort of like the Jackie Chan movie and so on, you know, the pop culture reference of this Drunken Kung Fu Master, right? So the goal is using the drunk gear. I finally have the Punch Drunk Bastard. Alright, this is, you get advantage and some thunderous attacks, can hurt your allies, by the way. But it's fun, it's all good fun. When you're drunk, this thing activates its condition. It's really cool. Could have made a reverb set, maybe we'll do that, but that's not really the point here. The point is I just wanted to use all the drunk gear. So in Act 3 there is cloth gear, and then there is an amulet. And it's all some fun. It's not necessary to build your monk, but if I'm going to play the subclass for the first time, figure that's what I'm going to go after. So we'll use Tavern Brawler, and I'll likely get maybe Great Weapon Master, since I'll be using this thing a lot. And then my boots and my helmet will add wisdom to my attack damage, both, you know, flurry of blows and my fist. Okay. Anyway, the whole point of this video is what I'm finding an issue, just like the Glamour Bard had an issue, and I kind of addressed it. But I figured mid-run what I'll do is just make a simple daily video, kind of just pointing out mid-run, is this going to change? Do you think I should change something? Is there something I'm maybe doing wrong? I can act cocky and say I know so much about this game and I'm so smart, but maybe, you know, I'm doing something wrong. Just like the Paladin I played, you saw that I made a couple videos about the new Paladin Crown Oath. and I felt like, oh, you know, I probably played this wrong, even though I really enjoyed playing a smiter. I wish I played more of a control or a combat medic, so I made a video about it. But I already finished the run. Now I have a chance that while mid-run, I ask you guys, just for fun, or just at least to document that since we are in the stress test, maybe things could change. Maybe I can give this to Larian. What I'm finding is performance in Act 1 up to Act 2 is really more just the visual flair, like I said. I really love the visuals on this guy. I think it's so cool. Let's just, you know, get rid of this. His punching animation, for instance, is just downright funny as hell, right? Like, he just goes, and I've had a blast doing that in the game, but that's just a different animation for the subclass, when otherwise I would just be punching things as like an open hand or Shadow Monk or whatnot, right? So the visual flair's there, and that's great and all, but really levels 3 to 7, well, let's talk about this for a second. If you don't understand the subclass, and I haven't done a breakdown video just yet on it, this is more opinion or just feedback. I'll do a proper video maybe tomorrow or the next day on Drunk Monk, but just covering some things here, right? So Drunken Performance, where is it? Drunken Performance. Can't seem to find it because I'm blind. So Drunken Performance simply just gives you a restoration to half of your ki. You can do it once per day, right? If you drink alcohol, you can get your ki back. I've already used it today, so it didn't affect me, right? And then also you don't suffer the effects from being drunk. So that's nice, but I mean, drunk wasn't really doing much to me anyway, outside of, you know, inside of combat. So it's nice to have a little passive bonus like this. Adds to the overall theme, and that's great. Nothing game-changing for the character or a monk or kung fu, right? Then there's Drunken Technique, which is really just flurry of blows in a different way. The way this was adapted, don't worry about tabletops right now, but the way flurry of blows is changed is basically you get 10 extra feet of movement and you benefit from disengage, which I find is a real contender with the other flurry of blows, like say open hands. It's not as much damage, but the utility of attacking and getting movement and getting disengaged to, like, it fits within the theme, I feel. And then you can just, you know, go up to somebody, boop them, really strong damage with flurry of blows, and if they're still alive, you can safely run away. And you can really manipulate that. Sounds like, you know, the style. But that's probably where the good things stop mechanically or, you know, combat-wise. Because Intoxicating Strike really feels bad to use up until level 7. But on its own, what this does is you can use an action or a bonus action. I like that. You have to spend a key point. I don't know if I like that, because what I'm going to do is basically, even if I'm using a two-handed weapon, I can force myself to use an action or bonus action to do a punch. I kind of like that, but it's a steep price because it's a key point. Why don't I just have the ability to do that on any monk? I don't know, but whatever. That's not the issue. The issue is you get somebody drunk. And I love the visual flair of throwing up a beer and smashing it in somebody's face. That's the reason I'm playing this and enjoying it. This run has been hilarious with the team so far. But does the subclass really do anything, or could have just been any monk? Because whoever I get drunk now has disadvantage on dexterity and charisma checks, which, what am I supposed to do? Outside of combat, punch somebody in the face with a beer and then be like, haha, now you have dexterity and charisma disadvantage. Who cares? Also, and that's this is what I'm asking, like, does this do anything? Am I doing this wrong? From levels 3 to 7 inside of combat, this doesn't do anything to anybody. So it feels really weird and stupid to use this and spend key points when this does literally double the damage. And it gives me 10 feet of movement and disengage, which I'm no stranger to flurry of blows and building for it. I love that. So it's one good reason to build a drunk monk is for Drunken Technique. But what the heck does Intoxicating Strike do? I don't know. So instead of pretending I know everything, I'm genuinely asking. Maybe tell me in the comments, or maybe there is no good point to it, and that's the issue with the subclass. Then there's Redirect Attack. I find this really cool. I was even hyped on stream. You see me like freak out. Well, I got it to work. But when my reaction is I got it to work, it doesn't really make much sense. Functionality. And again, maybe I can line up in an organic way, not in a forced way, or trying to go so far out of my way to use a key point and a reaction and put myself into danger just to make the enemy swing a really powerful move miss me for a key point. Okay, that's good. And then they get this condition called redirect attack. It literally puts a condition on them. But this redirect attack can actually cause them to go to the next target available, not just an enemy, but my team included. So let's say Dirge here was about to attack me. He's the enemy. Dirge is the enemy. And Swashbuckler is my ally. So Dirge would go in for a swing and be like, rah, I'm gonna get you. And I dodge it with the key point. Okay, that was already pretty decent. But now it applies a condition to Dirge, right? Something like a condition here, okay? And it says redirect attack. So he's going to attack again, and he's going to go to the next available target he can hit. I think that's how it works. I might have it wrong. But it could be my ally. I don't want the Swashbuckler to get hit. Like, in most cases, I'd be like, no, I'll take the hit. It's fine, whatever, I'm the monk. I'll probably dodge it anyway. Why should I blow a key point to, you know, redirect the attack? I probably would have just dodged anyway. So it also feels, once again, weird, which was, it's actually bringing up a problem I had with Arcane Archer, where I would blow a bonus action to redirect my arrow, and then it would just hit this box or this stool. It's like, that's not useful, and I blew a bonus action for that. So same thing with this. I have key points I would really like to use on Drunken technique. Could you give me some other, or you know, Stunning Strike? But like, what is this is something the class already gets, Stunning Strike. Other than the bonus stuff on Drunken technique, that stuff, like Flurry of Blows, is something the class already gets. So, like, Intoxicating Strike does nothing. Potentially from, maybe it's just they need this feedback, I don't know, but this potentially could actually get my allies killed, which really, why would I spend a key point to have my weaker ally take a hit? I don't get it. But maybe you could just redirect them into a guy who has retaliation effects, or a battle master that can retaliate when they miss. I don't know. It just feels weird to use, and I want to hear suggestions, because this is easily one of those things. Well, did you think about this scenario, or setting this up, or maybe the wrong party comp? And that's fair. Then there's Life of the Party, which is, okay, finally, when I get people drunk with Intoxicating Strike, which, mind you, it's the only way you get people drunk. You can't just throw beer. I was hoping, like, I could, you know, with Tavern Brawler, I could throw alcohol at people and get them drunk and do mad damage and get them drunk, but no. You have to use a key point, you have to Intoxicating Strike. But now, level 7, like, what is that, 4 levels later, right? I can now Intoxicating Strike. If it hits, the monk gains Life of the Party. So this is +1 armor class, and attack roll against the drunk target. And I'm still not even sure how this totally works, but okay. It increases armor attack and attack rolls as long as they're drunk. I have to test this more, again, just so when I make a breakdown video, but all I'm getting at here is we'll see on the stream tonight, and, you know, for the rest of the playthrough, if this actually makes... Is this the thing I was waiting for? I have to wait 7 levels for this subclass to really kick off, but at least I was enjoying this cool Drunken technique, but not really using this. What does that do for me, and am I using redirect wrong? Okay, so hopefully this kind of highlights stuff. Like I said, I don't have the clips to kind of show this right now. Just my current setup is not making it easy to make clips on the fly when we're playing the stream, and then also just not having a lot of time lately. I needed a recharge today, so I really appreciate it. So just here we are. It just feels more thematic, which is cool. I love, like I said, I love the drunk, you know, like the visual flair of this subclass is amazing, okay? I love that. But I'm not gonna pick like 3 levels of monk just to get the, like, the drunken brawler look, when I could actually just play a real character. I don't know. But yeah, contrast it with, say, Swashbuckler, which I could glaze all day, because these 3 moves at level 4, and you get your feet, and the way they interact with the rogue kit, making it easier to sneak attack out in the open, and just generally, like, tons of fun. And it has the visual flair. On stream, you'll see me use Flick of the Wrist all the time, and he does this little swirly attack. Look at the taunt. Look at the taunt on the animation, the passive animation. Like, and this thing is functionally a stupidly strong ability. Then you have the Blind and the Sand Toss, and you have Vicious Mockery, which could be built. I'm building him for Charisma, right? And these all really dynamically change the class and how the subclass interacts with it, which is how I rate these things. And then we could talk about multi-classing, right? So compared it to the Swashbuckler, I have the theme, it's cool, but functionally this is also very powerful and interesting and unique, right? Where's that for Monk? So if you got any suggestions, or if anyone watching feels the same way, maybe we'll leave some feedback for Larian while they can still change things. If you feel differently, that's cool. Like I said, this is a little bit more of just a little talky video going over it and how I'm feeling, because the rest are stellar. I love the other 3 subclasses here. Hexblade is a monster. So is Path of the Giants. Very simple, quick, and to the point, just like Swarmkeeper. Probably end up rating this pretty highly too. And Swashbuckler is like... Arcane Trickster is my favorite rogue, but this might be just right there at the same level as my favorite. I do not think level 9 also, the sobering realization attack is going to change it. But like I said, I'll do a proper breakdown video on the Monk for how it stands right now, but maybe anybody feel the same or different, just let me know. But for now, I'll see you in the stream, and thank you for letting me just have the daily video. Just recharge, keep it simple, and I'll check you in the next one. Bless you guys.